The next morning, we set off bright and early for Stage 2, the infamous Harmony Canyon. The obsidian cliffs glittered like giant polished gems, and the canyon winds whooshed through cracks, belting out their own whistling tune. I dusted my fingers with chalk and began quickly shimmying up the first face, whooping as gusts tried and failed to blow me off. Glancing below me, I noticed the reptilian and camelus contestants that had done so well on the first stage were still at the bottom of the wall, struggling to get a grip on the tiny ledges. Looks like I will be able to catch up on the leaders. About halfway up, I spotted the first wave contestants cresting the ridge. A Drasolian, a 6-foot gecko on legs, rocketed up the rock face. At the top, he accidentally booted a Verminian in the shoulder, sending him sliding down with arms flailing in free fall. "Grab my hand!" I shouted. He snatched my wrist, and oof! My shoulder cried out in protest, but I held firm. He quickly found a grip on the wall and let go, landing beside me. We hung there for a beat before the Verminian shakily spoke. "Thanks, human. I was about to become a gravity-assisted paint job on the canyon floor." His laid-back tone made me grin, a pleasant change from all of the interspecies formalities I have been subjected to since I arrived. "No problem," I called back, rubbing my shoulder. "I say we give that gecko a wedgie tonight at camp." He chuckled. "Not sure what that is, but I'm in. Name's Rathick." His tone shifted a bit. "How's your shoulder?" I know that mid-air snag had to have jarred it. "Just a tweak," I said, appreciating the seemingly genuine concern. "I'm Luana, but enough socializing. Ready to finish this climb?" "Absolutely. I'll stick below in case you need a hand." His determined look said it wasn't a suggestion. 10 minutes later, we popped over the top together, Rathick giving me a boost for the final push. We agreed to meet at camp when the stage ended, and off he zipped. 3 hours and 4 cliffs later, I staggered into camp and punched in my time. 12th place, still on the board. As I settled in for dinner, Rathick appeared with a bag. "Ice for your shoulder," he said, handing it over. "Seriously, thanks again. Humans are even crazier than I've been told." I laughed. "Oh, you have no idea." Day 3 kicks off at the rim of a gigantic 10-mile-wide lake scattered with tiny islands. I would never be able to handle a swim this far on Earth, but anything seems possible in this low-gravity, high-oxygen paradise. If I get tired, I'll just take a break on an island. While I zip up my skin suit and adjust my backpack, I glance around at the other racers who are all busy hacking vegetation and building things. It seems most are building rafts or canoes to make the trip across the lake, but even the ones that look like merfolk are fashioning branches into spear sticks and spike balls. Whatever. With a running leap, I cannonball into the water. I start swimming at a fairly quick pace, easily floating in the low gravity. I'm convinced I'm making great speed until a pod of native swimmers whizzes past me like I'm standing still. I laugh at myself for having delusions of grandeur. About a quarter of the way across the lake, the serene environment is shattered by a sudden, ear-splitting screech to my left. I twist around and spot a colossal sort of turtle thing hauling itself onto the shore of one of the nearby islands. Its iridescent shell is 10 meters wide, its face like a mythical dragon, and embedded in its neck is a gnarly ball of twisted thorns. I see a sleek, blue-skinned alien quickly paddling away. All the other racers are diverting their course to keep a wide berth. That is, everyone but me. I can't simply ignore those agonized groans to continue the race, so I change course for the island. Beaching myself 20 meters from the injured giant, I slowly head towards the massive creature. "Easy there, buddy," I call in my most soothing tone, because hey, even cosmic dragon turtles deserve comfort. The creature swivels its head and speaks in a deep, melodic rumble that, to my utter shock, my translator easily decodes. "It hurts, child. Can you help?" "I'll do my best," I say, edging closer while trying not to make any sudden moves. One swipe from those claws would end me. "My name is Luana," I say when I am directly in front of the coolest being in the galaxy. "What's your name, big guy?" "I am Sulvar," he rumbles, shifting so I can see the thorn ball lodged at the shell neck juncture. I wince. "All right, Sulvar, that blue-skinned jackass really wedged this thing in." I move in for a closer look. Sulvar stretches his neck further, groaning again, to provide easier access to the weapon. I think I can pull it out, but it's gonna hurt. I lean in and grip the ball with both hands. Think happy thoughts, I say, and yank on the weapon with everything I've got. It pops free with a vicious, wet crack. Sulvar bellows in pain. I fling the thorny tangle aside and step back to check the gashes. I've got an analgesic salve in my pack. I'm no expert in dragon turtle healing, but it might help. Anything, please, Sulvar wheezes. I rummage through my pack, find the tube, and sigh. This was supposed to last the whole race. Oh well. I squeeze out the whole tube onto my hand and carefully smear it over every ragged cut and vicious gouge. When I'm done, I walk to the water's edge to wash up, then open up a protein bar and sit next to Sulvar while he catches his breath. To my surprise, his shell shimmers with a faint iridescent glow. I'm guessing that's a good thing. How are you feeling? I ask, nibbling at the bar. Much better, Luana child. Thank you. His deep voice rumbles like distant thunder, but in a comforting way. I finish the last bite and shoulder my pack. I'm sorry we met like this, but I'm glad we did. I've got to get back to my race. I look out over the lake and see that most of the competitors, the ones that are still visible, are miles away. I have a lot of catching up to do. Sulvar stands, towering over me in a way that would be incredibly menacing if it weren't for the warm kindness in his eyes. Care for a lift? He offers. Seriously? I say, almost jumping with excitement. Sulvar, looking amused, simply nods. I climb up on his shell and we are off. He launches himself forward at amazing speed, slicing through the water with ease. We zoom past startled knife-toothed fish, then rocket ahead of the rest of the competitors. Hanging from the top of his shell, I whoop and laugh in astonishment at my new friend's speed. An hour later, we're on the far shore. Thanks for the ride, Sulvar. Saying you are amazing is an understatement, I say, sliding off his shell and giving him a gentle hug around the massive neck. Come visit me again, Luana child, he rumbles softly. I will show you wonders of my home. Deal, I say, grinning, before sprinting toward the finish line for this leg of the race. On my way to get changed into dry clothes, I glance up at the scoreboard. 3rd place. Thanks, Sulvar, I think to myself. Then I realize that I should have snapped a picture. There is no way anyone at home is going to believe I have a dragon turtle as a friend.